The following podcast is a part of the Spin Studio Network.
This is Happy Hour with Lucy and Nikki.
It was like right person, wrong time. Like we both had such huge career goals we wanted to achieve, and we were both traveling so much, and you know, I think it's just that. It was just like
That's so nice, right person, wrong time.
This episode is brought to you by Preen Bags. Cheers, babes. Welcome to Happy Hour with Lucy and Nikki, the real life shit you only discuss over a drink. But before we start, a little disclaimer.
So we're here for a good time, not a long time. So if you're easily offended, this podcast might not be for you. So scram, queen. Today we have our lovely friend, Cartia Mallan, who has come in and spared an hour of her time to come and chat with us. God bless.
Come and have a little chit chat. So if you guys don't know who Kardea is, she is a YouTuber, influencer, social media,
but she's also just
a dear friend.
But I think Kardia's message is a special one in the kind of oversaturated social media landscape that there is today. She's a big preacher of kind of self-love, and she talks a lot about mental health and some of the battles and issues that she's suffered with over the years. And I've literally watched her grow up since she was like 16 into she's 21 now.
She's 21, but honestly, she is so grown up. Like I learn from her.
She's got the soul of like an
old soul.
45-year-old specifically. I don't know why I chose 45.
45
but yeah,
for
we're
vibes.
so excited to have her on today. We discuss a lot of different things from, you know, growing up in the social media world, how that's impacted her mental health, how she's kind of overcome a lot of obstacles to be, I guess, the happiest version of herself that she is now. And of course, all the tea you guys have been wanting to know about the breakup. So
bloody hell, you guys are nosy, aren't you?
without further ado, welcome Cartia Mallan. Come on down.
Hi guys.
What a pleasure having you in here with us, Queen.
Absolute pleasure being here.
It's nice to not be at the gym with you instead.
I know. We're all F45 gym buddies.
We are.
Well, kind of. No, you guys, we say hi and bye. You do the earlier sesh.
Carl comes at 7, we do the 6:15.
Yeah, so we tap and go.
Have
a quick little goss.
I know.
We do.
We make her miss her whole demo because we're talking out the front. And she's like, oh, got to go, warming up.
We need to start coordinating it so that we're going together and then going out for coffee.
Yes, but I just don't wake up that early.
Next week, that's our goal.
Okay, we'll do that.
At least one day.
I don't mind a 7 a.m. every now and again.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
If I need a little sleep in.
Yeah, no, 7 a.m. is nice. We'll do that. We'll do that. All right, so Karts, we start every single story, every single podcast,
with our guests.
With our guests, with what is your wildest story?
Oh my God, I saw this in the car and I'm thinking, what, I don't, I honestly don't know if I've got a wildest,
Come on, surely.
Just
just life?
My life, everything. I don't know. Wildest, I would say probably most scandalous when I was younger was when I was on school exchange and we're in Paris and we were in grade I think 9 or 10 or something, and I was just such a rat of a child, the most rebellious little girl ever. Poor Mal, my mum.
Oh no.
But we were in Paris and I was I'd been there when I was younger, but I was kind of I want to go out, I want to party. I was in such a party phase. And we were all staying in this hostel and I was to my friends, I'm downloading Tinder and we're going to match with some guys and they're going to tell us some bars we can go to. And
in grade 9 or 10?
Strategy.
Either one, I can't remember.
Whoa.
Let's say 10.
That's bold.
And so I matched with this guy, Theo, on Tinder, this beautiful French model. Honestly, I had the fattest crush on him, still do. And matched
if you're
with
listening,
him,
Theo.
Yeah.
Here if you
I'm
need.
still in contact with all of the guys I met this night.
Wow.
It was meant to be,
This
babes.
is crazy, this story. So I'll try shortcut it. So anyways, we go to this place called the Ghetto Museum. We fucking I convinced these girls in my hostel room, 2 of the most innocent girls that I was friends with, and they're no, we can't, we're going to get in trouble. I was don't worry, we're going to sneak out of this hostel when the teachers go to bed. I'll get us home. I didn't get the address of the hostel. I didn't even have a cab number. No, Uber wasn't even a thing at this point. So we go to the metro, we catch a train to this place. There's 2 big security guards out the front, and I walk up and I go, bonjour, Ghetto Museum, is what this place is called. Anyways, we go in, it's this house that's been done into a bar. And it's in the most random suburb. We walk in and I meet these boys and they're cute as, like hot. So we meet Theo, his friend Octave, who's an artist, and their friend Caesar, he's like, I'm an actor.
Oui.
Oh my god!
And I went to we were all in acting school and I was like, oh, you're an actor. Like, we're actresses, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we get super smashed. We go back to Theo's house. I get on the back of his scooter.
Oh my
I don't
God,
have my
that's so
phone.
Parisian.
It's a dead of winter. I don't have a jacket, my phone, nothing. All my friends have it and they walked. And I get back to his place and I'm like, freaking out. I'm in a random French guy's house. I don't have a phone.
How old were they?
They were like 23 maybe, and we were like, what,
15?
17 something? 17? I don't know. Whatever.
17, that's grade 12.
No. So, not 17 then, probably 16 or 15. Anyway, so I'm freaking. I'm like, where are my friends? Like, what's going on? He's like kissing me, and I'm like, oh my God. Everyone walks in the door, and we just all get smashed, and somehow, miraculously, we make it back at like 4:30 a.m. right before we had to meet, like everyone at 6. Anyways, long story short, I was in LA at a Galore magazine party last year. And I look to my left and I'm like, holy hell, this guy looks so familiar. And I go to my friend, stand next to him, tell me if he's got an accent. And she's like, he's got an accent. And I was like, that's fucking Caesar. That is the guy I met that night.
Theo or Caesar?
Caesar, the other friend. But I kissed all of the boys that night too.
Oh my god, vibe.
Had a
You
crush.
are a little Parisian slut.
And then I go up to him and I say, he looks at me, he goes, Cartia? And I was like, Caesar? I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, I moved to LA like a while ago. I'm acting in this Netflix show now, blah, blah, blah. And he's in, Outlander. Outlander.
That's huge.
He's in Outlander. And anyways, he's like, yeah.
God,
so I moved to LA and I got this role because remember I said we giggled at him being like, he's an actor. Oh yeah, sure, everyone's a fucking actor.
He's like killing it.
And he's like fully killing it in LA
That's so
at this
cool.
Galore party. And he was like, because back I was such a little chunky monkey in school and I was not that cute. And he's like, oh, you're so beautiful now. And like, look at you. And he's like, you were beautiful back then, but look at you now. And I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, that was funny.
Is he hot?
He's cute.
Yeah.
Like French cute, you know? French cute.
Like,
Yeah.
oui,
But that
so
was just
cute.
crazy because we were just young and
very cute.
if we ever like got caught, we would have been dead. And just like me being like, let's
Yeah.
go meet up with some random guys. Like
That
good job,
could have gone
Kardea.
one
That
of
could
two
have gone
ways.
really horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Really
glad that you're
sad.
alive.
What an
to tell
amazing
that tale.
story.
I
Yeah.
know. So yeah, that's just
That
fun.
is, I'm going to
That's a
say,
ripper.
cards, that's a real wild story.
Yeah, I like that.
Bloody
Happy-
kudos to you,
Are
my
you still
friend.
friends with the girls that you're with from school?
Yes.
Love
we all
that.
giggle about it all the time.
I love that.
That's a great tale, but we're not condoning doing that when you're that young.
Yeah.
girl.
No, stranger danger, people. And have a jacket in winter. It's bloody cold. You'll catch the flu.
Keep your phone and jacket on
Yeah.
you all times.
Just don't be a dumb bitch like I was.
So, Carts, let's to give everyone a bit of background context, let's go give some history as to your background. So you and I actually met back in like 2015
yeah.
and you were already, so you would have been like what, 17 then?
Yeah.
Where'd you meet
Wait.
at Princess Polly?
Yeah, so I was working at Princess Polly at the time and Kardea was doing a lot of like influencing stuff for Princess Polly. And I think,
It was way before 2015. It was like, not way before.
no,
It
that
was
was
before
the,
I was in grade 12. It was like, anyways.
you started influencing
back,
that long
yeah.
ago. So I want to know, you obviously started being an influencer and everyone hates that term, but whatever, that's what it is.
Yeah.
YouTubing,
Potato, potato.
potato, potato.
An Insta gal.
Back in bloody high school. I want to know, how did it start? How did you build your following? Talk us through the beginning.
So I was at acting school. I left an all-girls school, started acting school, and my acting, like, it was just my dream forever and ever and ever to be an actress. So my acting coach was like, good luck. Like, I wanted to do film and TV, and I studied theatre, and he was like, good luck. It's such a hard industry to crack, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, fine. Got crafty. I was like, I'm going to learn how to do makeup and I'll do stage makeup and I can just, I don't know, maybe meet people through that, like thinking I'll network through that. So I got really into doing makeup and I started doing makeup for like people's formals and then I started doing it for photo shoots. And then one day my friend was like, oh, can you film it and send us a video? Oh, can you like show us how to do it? And I was like, I'll just film it for you and I guess I'll email it to you. And the file was too big to go on like email. So she goes, just upload it on YouTube. And I'm like, what's like upload on YouTube?
What is this
okay.
fabulous?
You know, like, you watch YouTube, like I watched YouTube like randomly like to watch makeup videos, but I wasn't planning on posting it to actually be informative.
Yeah.
And I uploaded it, sent it to her, but I'd posted it on public, not on private. So it spread through all of Brisbane like wildfire, and everyone's like, what the fuck is Kardea doing? And it was like negative feedback.
Oh.
But then there was positive too. And then someone was like, you should post another one. And I don't even know why. I don't know why I thought I'm going to post another one, but I did. And then it just kind of started as like a hobby. So I started as like a makeup YouTuber. But
wow.
then
I've never heard that story
But I
before.
got lucky because it was as Kylie Jenner was becoming a thing, right? She was like still skinny lip Kylie Jenner. And I did a Kylie Jenner makeup look when she did like this black eyeliner and a red lip. And the video went like viral. So I kind of got lucky in that sense. And then it was also at the time where it was like Cara Delevingne became a thing, the big brow thing.
Yeah.
And that was my look. Like I had like big eyebrows and everyone was like, I love her brows. Oh my God. So it was really these two key things that happened, and it kind of like
Skyrocketed.
started it a little bit. And then mainly it was the festival fashion stuff. So people started like following because I used to go to festivals heaps, and I dress up all crazy, and like boho fashion became really popular, and that was just my style.
Oh my
And
gosh, boho fashion.
that was the start of
R.I.P.
it.
That was
R.I.P.
massive start of
R.I.P. So yeah, that's kind of how it all happened really naturally, and then it just kept going, and then I was like, oh, okay, everyone's doing this thing. Cool.
Now it's your job.
Now it's
full
my
time.
job.
Because you pretty much literally, when I met you, I think you were just finishing school, and you really honestly haven't worked in a traditional job ever.
Oh, I worked in a vintage store when I moved to Byron.
Did you?
I
Which
literally
shop?
used after school because I moved straight away. I moved straight from Brisbane to Byron straight after school, and I put all the money I had saved up on a 5-month lease in Byron, and just started with zero, and was like, I want to work a proper job and learn how to actually like make money, because I had just had this thing happening, and
You
I was
just
like,
wanted a bit of normality.
I just wanted normal,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't want to like, I just want to like learn how to like properly work hard for money, and so I put all my money down on this lease and was like, I'm just going to like work a normal job. So I worked in Trash, the vintage store.
Oh.
It was so fun. I loved it. Like I just was chatty,
you would've
and
been
me
great.
styling up all the guys that came in. I was like,
Oh, you
try
would have met
this,
some cool
this.
dudes.
Yes,
It was so
seriously.
fun. But then that was when I was just doing like lots of creative videos on YouTube and stuff, and I was just expressing myself and, you know, doing all that. And YouTube and stuff didn't seem like work for me though. It was a hobby while I was like, because I was supposed to move and do acting in Sydney.
Yeah.
So yeah, then eventually I just kept doing it, and we're here.
Wow.
And so then you lived in Byron.
Yeah.
You were doing YouTube creatively. I know that you were definitely getting some kind of income from YouTube at that time.
Yep.
And so along with obviously the brands paying you, so say for example you do a haul for X brand, whatever, do you make money, like this is genuinely me asking because I don't know. How else do you make money through like AdSense and stuff on
what is
YouTube?
AdSense?
Literally don't really know. I put my bank deets into this thing when I started, and they just send me money every month. It's nothing crazy. If I was like a full legit YouTuber that got like millions of views, they'd probably make a killing.
Yeah.
A lot of them do base all of their money off that, but I guess it's just like when people click your ads and stuff.
Gotcha.
So it's a little cheeky bit of money every month that I get through. So
That's so handy.
Yeah.
But then mainly you're getting it through like the brand sponsoring.
it's mainly through all of that for sure. I wish I knew more about it. I should probably know more about it. I'm just terrible with that stuff.
yeah. It's
Because how old are you now, Kardea?
21.
21.
so young.
I feel so old now. I'm meeting people and
You've
they're
just
like,
done
I'm
so
18,
much.
I'm 17. And I'm like, oh my God. Wow.
But like
I'm
I
older.
wouldn't think that you're 21.
No.
But
purely
I'm always,
based on, like,
remember
your
when you guys met me, I was
personality
always used to everyone being like, wow, I can't believe you're 17 or you're 16. Because I
Yeah,
did start
yeah,
everything
yeah.
when I was young.
So young.
And
yeah.
I grew up so fast.
Yeah, you did.
Really quick. I was like, okay, so grow down, Kardea. Grow down.
Grow down. No, you can't
wanna be
really
a
go
kid
back,
again.
can you?
Oh, I'm kind of. I feel like lately I've been like being a like little rat bag again. It's so fun.
That's good.
But a rat bag that has like her like morals aligned, like she knows like
She knows her shit.
she knows her shit.
She
like
knows
she's
the
learned her
boundaries.
lessons.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what we like to think we are too, rat bags that
Yes.
have their shit together.
No, like I agree. Like you guys have like got a business running. Like that's
Oh,
that's
just.
something to
Could
say
be
for
running
that.
better if we were less rat bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to be less rat bag, more business chic.
Literally.
And so what was your first ever vlog on going back?
Probably like oh,
A festival or something?
it was probably like my weekend in Byron Bay or like
Yeah.
just me and my friends probably in Brisbane doing something. Then there's like a get ready with us for our semi-formal.
Oh my God,
Something
mood.
Something like I don't know. Yeah.
Fun. Okay, and what has been your biggest – I want to hear more about this progression. So you moved to Byron and then you moved to Sydney?
Yeah. Then so I signed with IMG and was one of their –
which is a management company for
management
those.
company, yeah. And they hadn't really picked up any like social media talent. It was kind of – it was
More
like
modelling,
as it was
hey?
starting, it was like I was one of their first kind of like younger media people. So they were like, we need you in Sydney so I can be like pushing you for work. I said I wanted to do acting, so I'd moved there thinking that was what I was going to be focusing on, but then this all just became such a thing. So moved, did more brand work and, did more like public speaking stuff and now it's progressing and now I am, kind of segueing more back to the acting side of things, and I did some presenting stuff and I was just experimenting really with what I was liking, and I thought I was like, I'm going to do presenting, and then I was like, wait, I fucking hate this. This is like not cool.
You didn't
it's
like
like
it?
cool,
Really?
but I get too nervous. I'm like, I can talk if I'm just chat like this. I can talk about myself.
Yeah.
Or I can have a conversation, but when I'm like, need to follow
Having to do,
I had to be professional. I suck at that. I swear all the time. I like just am not the best at being like poised.
It's actually so much harder than people think to actually
Presenting
to
is
present.
hard. Like
Taking cues
thinking on the
and-
spot.
for
Like
sure.
I think I'm a funny person sometimes, but if I'm like not in that headspace to banter, I'm like, like I can get awkward.
You just have to be on 24/7.
You need to be so on,
My uncle's a presenter on the news, and I always think of him, and I'm like, he has to watch the news every night, the night before at 7 p.m. to know, to like, I guess, be briefed in for the current affairs for the following day, which is fine. But then I just think about him, like, the amount I go to work hungover, like he could never go to work that hungover. Not a chance.
I watched The Project last night and like I don't even know how, but everything is so perfect. Like, they all laugh like, ha ha ha. And next up we've got, and I'm like, how did you just, I don't even know. They're one-liners. I'm like,
they're clever.
I'm
Never
too
talking
orky.
over each other. Like
Always
even,
perfectly like, oh God, it's
and
witchcraft.
that's live, isn't it?
Yes, it's like, honestly, I can't.
The
So,
nerves.
Yeah,
I could not do it
that's-
myself.
That's definitely an art that I think you, after years and years, get very, very good
Yeah,
at.
100%. I was just not ready to go down that path. I was like,
So now you want to go back more into acting.
100%, yeah. Acting.
I saw you were doing a little bit over in LA recently.
Yeah, did a
How
little
did that
short
go?
film. Really good. One of my friends had graduated film school, and she is just such an epic filmmaker. So I was like, she was like, you need to do this, Kardea. So you're going to fly over. I'm going to put you in a film. And I was like, okay. And so
That's
we did that, and
amazing.
it all got shot on like 16 millimeter film. So it's going to be this gorgeous montage and stuff. But it was fun.
I love
It made me
that.
be like, okay, this is what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you're still the beauty of it is that you are still so young and you've already tried so much.
Yeah.
Like when I was your age, I had not done nearly as much as you. And so you're like kind of already, at least you're realizing really what you want to do now and not when you're like 30.
100%. I go crazy if I'm not doing stuff. I feel like I'm just like,
You need like
I'm like
projects,
hyperactive.
yeah.
Like, I'm such a creative thinker, and I think I went crazy in the past 2 years just doing solely just social media stuff. And I was like, you have more in you that you want to do. So just now it's like, especially this year, I'm like, just get over the fear of doing that shit and just put yourself out into it and just try it. It might fail, but like, otherwise I'll be like going even more nuts, just staying in the same routine and habits. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like even with us thinking of like if we were just doing just Instagram, we'd be working for 1 hour a week. Like and just
Couldn't do
at the
it.
beach every other day.
Yeah.
Like you need to have other things.
I wanted more structure in my life, you know, not just like, and I also was like, like, I don't even know. You guys know. It's like if you were just doing it, it's kind of, I just feel like a bit of a cop-out.
I'm like, very fulfilled.
No, and I also feel like how lucky have I been to have this platform. I should also be doing things that's like involving the people following me more, or figuring out things that we can do, you know, just in other ways. Like, sure, the acting's one thing, but I also have my other stuff I'm working on the side for involving the platform and just trying to expand it more, just, you know, as more of a space and a community.
Yeah, totally.
You're so good like that though. Like you always jump on and like go, oh, you know, I'll have a chat to my followers today. And it's like you're actually talking to them.
I know.
It's great.
Yeah,
and I know
like-
you and I can see that, you know.
Yeah, it's because like genuinely, like, they do feel like an extended family. Like, we just banter and have chats, like you guys with your like, I feel like you've got this other dialogue with your followers, like
the punters, the
you
language,
know, the bloody poochies, I don't even know what is the queenies. It changes every fucking week. But like, even just in moments where I'm going through things, or it's like, because I talk lots about mental health online, but when I'm going through stuff, or if they are like, I think we've formed such an open, very deep connection with each other. They know everything going on with me. So I just always feel like I also owe it to them to connect, because I'm like, well, you guys are following me for a reason.
For a reason, exactly.
And I think that when you're vulnerable online, you help a lot of people. So I just always try and be vulnerable and make sure not to show like, sure, my life looks perfect online type of thing. Everyone says that, but just to actually show that don't ever compare yourself to me, like, or to anyone.
That's one thing I will say about being like an older person in this industry. And then obviously I'm like friends with so many of you guys that are like younger, and you're coming up, and like, you know, a lot of people just do influencing. They might not have anything else. And then there's so many issues with mental health and stuff like that. You know, we've got a lot of friends that have their own issues, and it's like, of course it's like this whole world of people that wake up every day and all that they're really expected to do in a day is like maybe like do their makeup for camera and then like maybe get a selfie, and that's their work for the day. There's going to be some long-term fucking
side effects
of this industry, because, you know, rewind 20 years, a 21-year-old would wake up and go to work. Yeah. And so you wouldn't have that like downtime to constantly be thinking and scrolling and comparing.
It's also like the thing of like, when you are just so heavily involved in just doing influencing, for me, it was confusing because I started before it was as popular. So I never compared myself to anyone. I was like, I'm unique. I'm doing my thing. I had extremely high self-confidence. I backed myself fully. And then as it became more popular, I'm like, fuck. Not that I'm competing against anyone, but it is more competitive now.
It's more saturated.
I need to actually still make a living. And then you have all these people, and they're beautiful people posting their perfect lives. It gets you after a bit. You're like, oh my God, you do start comparing yourself. Even for me, someone that was like, I just was so fine at being like, I'm me, and that's my power. I got to a point last year where I was like, oh my, maybe I need to change this. Maybe I need to do this. Like, maybe I should be posting more like this, or posting. You do get it. And so I can just imagine for someone as well that is like, well, I mean, I'm dead in it, but people looking out with lives that aren't anything like mine as well, and they're doing the normal job. They're working their ass off to save up for a holiday, and they see people bloody going every week like it's normal. Yeah. It's like, of course it's going to eventually start to get to people. So that's why I'm always like, as much as I do get to live an incredibly blessed life, I'm so grateful for it. Just if I can highlight the moments that aren't as glamorous, that not everyone sees, then that's important too.
It's important just to show you're still human.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, we'll get more into the mental health stuff soon, but before we go on, we're going to ask you lots of questions about that in a bit. But what has been your biggest career highlight to date?
I think, there's been so many, but I think the main one was when I first got booked to go and work with Tommy Hilfiger. That was
massive.
Just really exciting, because it was kind of like
That's like international.
It was on an international scale, and
isn't Gigi who did that?
Yeah, it was like the Gigi line, and so we went to Milan and got to see the show, and it was like for young me being like, holy crap, I'm going to watch a fashion show with all these people, and like got to meet Tommy, and like I just felt like, why'd you pick me, like kind of thing, like what, like it just felt nice. It felt like a lot of my hard work had been rewarded, because obviously like I love the fashion space, and working with like high-end brands would be, you know, iconic. Like, Louis Vuitton, hit me up, darling.
If you're listening, you're here if you need for Louis.
Truly. But like, so that was really cool. And then after that, we got to do a few more of their shows like in Paris and in, you know, different places. So that was just cool to be recognized on that. You know?
It's cool to be like actually aligned with them, you know, like that was my first thought with you. It's like, I think of like that as like your sort of brand.
Yeah.
You know, that's so epic.
It was just cool and fun. We got to shoot with them and stuff. But I think for young me being like, wow, that's That's so cool.
Yeah.
Also just like obviously getting to do like meet and greet things or speaking things where I get to meet people and just talk, or if I get booked for people wanting to hear about what I have to say, like that's crazy. I'm like, you want to listen to me talk? Like,
You're a great talker.
What?
And what about if there's any regrets that you regret? Anything you regret?
Any regrets?
Regrets that you regret.
Oh my God, that came out so wrong. Any collaborations or anything you regret to date?
Nothing.
Nothing
I
career-wise.
don't really have any regrets with it. I'm like, everything has just been little lessons. Nothing. I have had no major things that I've been like, fuck, that was horrible. Like,
Yeah, totally.
Nothing too bad's ever happened. Touch wood. So yeah,
Touch wood.
No regret. No regrets.
No regrets.
Love that.
And what would you say your average day looks like? I can know how you start. Gym at 7 a.m.
Yes.
F45.
First things gym. I go home. I meditate, journal, eat breakfast every day. Go for a swim. Like I don't start my morning until I've done those things. And
That's
then,
a nice way to start your
Yeah.
day.
yeah,
that's
it just
so
keeps
nice.
me so on track. And then, yeah, every day is different. Some days I'll be doing editing stuff or kind of doing work on the side with the other things I'm working on.
Secrets.
Just
Can you
like
give us any hints?
stuff with it's more like speaking things.
Cool.
Kind of like
Okay.
little sit show. Yeah, I can't really say much, but yeah, just working on a whole another project and stuff.
When can we
And
expect that project to be ready?
later this year, hopefully. Like
Okay.
later, it's going to take a little bit to get it together, but
Yeah.
so I've just been working on that. I've been setting up my new house, so just doing bits
Oh,
and
I've
pieces
been loving when
there.
you put that on your stories.
Yes.
I'm so on that journey.
I've been because I used to write a lot of poetry. I used to love writing, and I kind of like creative writing was such a big thing for me. And like, you guys see my Instagram captions are this long sometimes. So I've been trying to get back into doing some more writing and just getting more creative again. So I'll just like lock myself in a room and like put my phone away for a bit and just
Yeah.
try and like get creative again and get into that space more. So I've been doing that. But yeah, every day is different.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing, it's like, because when you don't have an office, sometimes I feel like it's hard for people that aren't in it to sort of understand how you spend your time
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Yeah.
Like when we were doing it, we just like have to go and work from a cafe or something just so
Yeah.
we felt like we were showing up somewhere.
Literally, that's why I set up that's why I moved and
Yeah,
set
set
up
up
an office
like a
because I was
proper
like, I
desk and
need to
stuff.
just sit and focus and
Yeah.
like finally set up like a backdrop. So if I've got to shoot stuff, I can just do it all from home and be
Who
productive.
shoots your
and-
content for you?
Oh, it could be mum. It could be
Yeah.
anyone. My friend Izzy started shooting film. I'm like, great, let's go do creative shoots. Like,
good.
so yeah.
I love that.
Anyone who's around, anyone I can convince to come help me.
Oh,
Like,
mate, we've
please.
had some absolute shockers. I remember we had to get this photo in South Bank in Brisbane before the sun went down.
We got a
had
random
like
bloke, a Indian bloke walking past.
like
You're
a
like-
student. He could barely speak English,
Oh,
and we're
no.
like fully framing up the shot for him. Like he's on his knees. We're like, I hope
God
you don't
bless.
mind.
Oh, great photo, actually.
Yeah.
It actually was great.
Yeah, it was
But
good.
the time pressure, it was so funny.
Oh
We're
my
like, wow, we'll
God.
literally ask anyone. So moving on, back to the mental health thing.
Yeah.
So you obviously are very, very passionate about mental health.
Uh-huh.
Was there like a certain time where you sort of started taking that really seriously?
Like, what's your history with mental health yourself?
So my literally grew up the most happy kid in the world. Like I truly was just like always glass half full type of person. And I started talking about mental health when I was probably in like grade 10, just because I don't know, I just always felt fucking happy. I was like, I just want to spread this. I want everyone to feel really happy, and like positivity became a massive theme on my Instagram. And yeah, so it started with that, just always feeling good. And I was like, I want other people to feel this good, because I had friends going through stuff and I'd be like, yeah, I understand, like you're dealing with this, but I never really 100% understood until then I went through it. So it was always a thing on my channel even since it started, but then it became really important to me when I started experiencing anxiety myself. And I was like, holy shit, I talk to people and help people with this every day, but I haven't even been through it. I thought I understood this, and I'm like, now I really get it. Like this stuff is
Wow.
hard. This is serious. Like it's really like debilitating, and I can't even imagine someone going through this when they're in school, like when
Yeah.
they're 14, 15. Like some of the stories I'd get people telling me, like having dealt with depression since they were like 12, and they've dealt with it and having anxiety every day for like 9 years or some shit. I'm like, holy crap, like how?
Yeah.
So it just became important for me to educate myself on it more and start taking more seriously and expressing like my own personal experiences with it, just to make people feel like they're not alone in it.
Yeah.
Because when I was going through it, you literally feel like I'm crazy. I'm like the only one feeling this. It's very isolating. So the more, even like me just talking about it online helped me feel more supportive in my journey, because people would message me their stories or ways they got through or coped with anxiety or, you know, the feelings of having depression for a little bit or whatever. So that's why I was just like, I owe it to just express my story and talk to people and make them not feel so alone. So yeah.
It's definitely like a real, I don't know, I always say this and I'm like, I don't know if it's because now I'm more aware of it or if it's because I'm older and it's just kind of happens as time goes on. But I feel like there's so many people with anxiety.
100%. Well, especially like, dude, Instagram, like it actually breeds this
we
like.
We met this guy yesterday actually who's working on a program to sell into like
a startup.
Yeah. And he's like basically working on this program that like big corporations and stuff can buy. And it's all about like dealing with anxiety and how to deal with people that have it or depression in the workplace and stuff. And he said one of the main causes is too much time spent on your phone.
And it's wild.
Is that not the scariest thing?
Yeah. Because it just, you're living like, I don't even know how to like put my thoughts about it into words properly, but it's kind of like, we're here living on the normal plane, but then it's like hyper reality. It's the comparison. It's the, I should be doing more. I should be doing this. And you start living like in all these different spots. It forms like overthinking in your head. I do it.
And it's like addictive.
It's addictive.
You know, like being on your phone is so addictive.
People aren't going outside anymore. They're not having real proper experiences. I know everyone says it, but it's like you actually like need to, with my friendship group and I, like we set up proper times to just go and have fun, go be creative, go to the beach. Like it's so important. And like people aren't spending as much time with people. Everyone's getting so busy and et cetera. But it's just like you need that proper connection and time and like the support and you need to be able to talk to people.
And mindfully being present, I think is a big one.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've stopped being present because we've got this thing to distract us, you know. So
when I see my little weekly screen time alerts, I'm like, oh my gosh,
Oh my gosh, don't look at mine.
And then when it goes down, I'm literally like to my friends, guys, my screen time went down like 7%. Like, yes.
My screen time goes down if I'm hungover because I'm asleep all day.
Yeah.
better be hungover more.
Yeah,
Do it for the
literally.
screen time.
Mine goes down when I'm partying because I'm just like,
I'm never on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Never.
When we're partying, the only time on my phone is like film someone doing something
truly.
funny. Yeah.
See, I just take Polaroid photos when I'm drunk. I just have a Polaroid and I'm like, ew, everybody.
Oh my
and
God,
then,
I've got a disposable camera I need to get developed from a recent time and I'm a bit nervous.
Are you happy with the person you are today?
Oh, 100%. I feel like I can so happily say that because every like challenge that has been thrown at me, like I know for a fact I've just kind of faced it head on and went through the shit with it and learnt from it all. And like last year, I think there was a point where I wasn't happy with who I was. I became a person that I didn't associate with properly or really wanted to be. Like I became quite negative. I wasn't practicing what I was preaching.
Yeah.
I couldn't get there because I was just in a really dark mental place. But I think since then, like I've just focused on everything. Literally just taken the advice I give to everyone else and just started doing it again and like, you know.
And you've moved back up from Sydney.
Yeah, so I left Sydney, which was a massive part of just
I was going to say,
getting
was
my
that one
stuff
of the
together.
reasons why you moved up back to the Gold Coast?
I needed more support. Like I needed just to be around my mum. I needed just some normality. Like I was getting overdoing events, getting dressed up, having small talk.
There's
like
so many down there.
it's just not who I am. I like to like I either vibe with someone or I don't. I'm really bad at faking it. Like I'm really bad at
Me
faking
too, babe. Me bloody too.
And it's not that I didn't like the people. I was just like, don't really know you. And like
You'd rather be out like having dinner with your good friends than like at an event talking to a million people.
And I was wasting time. I was just I felt the need to be like, you know, my management wanted me to be more elevated and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm such a rat bag. Like I just will get there when I get there once I get older.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was growing up too fast. I didn't have the fun in my life anymore. Like wasn't creative anymore. And
it's pretty crazy to think of like the Byron Bay Kardea that we met like, knew all those years ago, and then to like Tommy Hilfiger Kardea, and now you're kind of like somewhere in between.
I'm somewhere in between, and it's a really good place because everyone would be like, we miss the old you. And I was like, I simply have grown up.
Yeah.
I'm not her anymore. But then I was like, wait, but
I love that girl.
But I was like, but she had such a zest and like, I remember my friends like, or people that hadn't seen me in a while would see me and when I was in a bad place, they're like, oh, you've lost it a little bit of your light.
A little bit of sparkle.
And I was like, I know I have. I will get it back. And now I feel like moving back up here, I have never lived on the coast before, but moving up really helped me bring that back and just honestly taking out the time to focus on being. It took a lot of work to get back to this place because I just had to. You
can feel it radiating off you.
Yeah,
like literally.
And I just feel
lovely.
good all the time. Not all the time, but I just am happier now because I had to deconstruct the beliefs I'd formed in my head about who I had to be and what people wanted me to be as in the industry. And I was like, I can fucking make up my own rules. Like what I used to do, I was like, you don't have to fit any mold because I also think it's going in a way where it's like the more unique you are, the more yourself, because everyone's becoming little clones.
Yeah. Oh my God, aren't they?
But you feel the pressure. I used to feel the pressure like, is that what I have to be like to be successful? And I was like, honestly, Kardea, I'd rather not be as successful if you have to be someone else other than yourself in this to get there.
And I guess you got to remember like people started following you for you before you had management, before you were told what direction to go. So
I remind myself every day. Yeah. Like every day I just remind myself of exactly that, you know?
Yeah, I think the more you can just, I don't know, be yourself in this industry, the more you will just find followers. Like, okay, guess what? Like Nikki and I are doing is like quite niche. Like we're pretty fucking 100%. Old. There's two of us, and we like aren't necessarily like the best bloggers in the world, but like we have followers that just love us for us.
Because you guys are this is the thing, like you guys are authentically yourself, and you don't waver from that. And I recently met this artist, and he was just, what I learned from him was a lot about just, I think how
an artist, a painter or a music artist?
A painter. Who was just so fearlessly themselves and just did not give a fuck. And it was epic. It was just like, killing it, absolutely killing it. Has his own niche market of like people that follow him, that just get him. And it reminded me of who I was when I was younger. And it really made me go, wow, if I can support and back everything you're doing, like you could do the craziest thing right now and I'd be like, yep, because he is just being him. And like, I think you girls are the same with your stuff. Like it's just very, very true to like, well, I know you guys personally and everything you do online is exactly, if not more, raw.
Yeah, I know. A little too raw. She's raw. Okay, and you're also quite a spiritual person. So you're all like very intact with your things.
It's very impressive. The way you can like acknowledge what you're feeling and like depict it and then tell someone about it. I'm like, hey, you should see me trying to have a serious conversation.
Imagine living in my brain.
Drawing blood from a stone.
My friends are always like, I just sometimes wonder what you do when you're just at home by yourself. Like what's going on in your head? I'm like, too much.
You're like bit on, that's why I'm journaling.
Painting in the nude to opera or something.
I'm not, but I wish I was at that point.
Journaling in the nude.
Journaling in the nude. So you're a very spiritual person. Spiritual. How did that journey start? Have you always been into like, you're into star signs?
Yeah.
Like talk us through that.
I love when there's like a moon thing happening and you like talk about it. Because I'm like,
it makes sense.
Oh, it's perfect. It's a full moon soon.
Do you know what reminds me of you? The saying Mercury's in retrograde.
Mine started, honestly, I think when I was younger, I don't know how I just got my hands on like some star sign book. And I'm a Leo, so Leos are like, that love themselves, queen of the jungle, like, etc. So I think it started with a bit of self-obsession, to be honest. Like I wanted to know all my...
Again, she can still recognize it.
I wanted to know my positive traits because you know how they give you like, this is what stands out in this star sign. I'd be like, I'm loyal, I'm loving. Like I'd show my mum and be like, look how great I am. Honestly. So I think it honestly started from that point. And then the negative ones, I was like, ugh, whatever, we'll just ignore them. But my mum also kind of...
your mum's really into that kind of stuff.
She's not a hippy dippy. She's just so self-aware.
Yeah.
So I firstly think I learned a bit of self-awareness from her and to observe, how I felt. And then as I just got older, I found books and would Google online about star signs. It became interesting for me to ask people, oh, what star sign are you? And then I don't know. I just started researching it and it just it felt like a little like space for me that I related to because I think growing up I was always very in like here and like I would just understand things or then I met older people, they're like, you're such an old soul. I'm like, what's that? Google
old soul.
Looking up these terminologies and stuff and yeah, it just formed. And then when I started doing acting, I, would do character development. I'd create, star signs for my characters. And that was how I started.
Oh, wow. Really?
That's deep.
But that's how I started.
Kardea, you are deep, girl.
I bloody
love
know. But I started just then when I'd meet people, it became a way for me to understand like
What sort of person they were.
or how I should interact with them. So I don't change around people, but I'm very good at, if I can understand a little more about you, I know how to act. Like
Can you
around
guess our star sign?
I already know you're a Taurus.
Oh,
What am I?
Oh my God, I forget.
What
You
do
need
you
to
think?
guess.
What from
You're
my
not a
vibe?
Libra, are you?
No, not a Libra.
You have such a Libra vibe, but I can't remember.
Such a Libra vibe.
you
I
are
love that.
such a
What
Libra.
are you?
I'm a Pisces.
Oh, Pisces. Well, they're kind of simple. They're like similar
Airy fairy.
in a good way. But
It's funny because we were reading star signs things the other day. And
Yeah,
we're like, wow,
we
they
were like,
just
whoa.
feel so bang on. But then it's like,
Well,
I don't
this
know.
is the thing. Like, you've got your sun sign, which is like, Taurus or Leo or Pisces. But then depending on what time you're born, you've got a moon and a rising. So it's kind of like how you present yourself and then how you handle emotions. Or so for me, I'm Leo. My moon is Virgo, so it makes me very organized, very like I'm planned out, like very like can be quite blunt and to the point. And then my rising's Gemini, which Gemini is like split personality. So this is why
Basically, you're erratic.
I'm a bit crazy, like, or creative and stuff. So once you like do your two other ones, it explains so much about who you are. So some people like star signs are bullshit. Like it says I'm a Gemini, and I'm like not like that at all. I'm like, well, go look up the rest of them and tell me what you think.
Yeah, I need to look that up because I didn't even know that.
Mum can do your
told me a while
chart.
ago.
This is what Mum
Oh my
does.
God, we need to
She
do that.
does the charts.
We need to go over and have a wine with your mum.
and,
would be
talk,
fab.
and talk astrology.
Yeah, I love
Someone
that.
told me, I don't know, I'll have to look at it, but someone said I'm even Pisces rising as well.
Yeah, you could
So I'm
be
just
double.
fucking 24/7.
A lot of that.
Be relaxed.
What about I had this bloke come up to me the other night, and he's a friend of ours, but like not a good friend.
Yeah.
And he goes, Lucy, what year were you born? And I'm like, 1990. And he goes, year of the horse. I knew that's why we got along so well. I don't know if it was horse, but I
Just throws out that shot on a sesh.
He goes, I knew that's why we got along so well. I was like, year of the horse, giddy up.
So you're like, right. That's like
don't even know if
anytime I
that's the
meet
right one.
people or like I'm in a group or with guys, I'm like, oh, what star sign are you guys? It just becomes natural for me to just ask. I'm like, oh, Sagittarius, I'm this. I'm like, oh my God, love you. Makes sense.
Who's your most compatible sign?
I have so many cancers in my life. Mainly my girlfriends are cancers because they're emotional and I'm such an emotional bitch. Like I need that support. Tauruses, my mum's a Taurus, like love.
Oh my God, is Kyle a Taurus?
Every
Kyle
Taurus
have a similar
every
vibe.
Taurus I meet, I'm just like, love you. Don't care.
Oh my God.
Love you.
And Kyle loves me.
Yeah.
Seriously,
adores.
she's like, I'm worried about Lucy. I'm going to call Lucy. I'm going to text Lucy. I'm like, Mum, let her look after herself.
You're eating a lot of sugar, Lucy. I can't help but notice.
Kardia's mum literally sometimes will message me if she watches me buying Sour Patch Kids on my Insta and goes, Lucy, I've noticed you've got a lot of sugar in your life at the moment. I was like, shit, sorry, mum.
funny.
She's just, she's
beautiful.
Tauruses, Sagittariuses, they're like fire signs. They're my main.
What about like love interest wise?
Love wise,
On paper, what's meant to be?
paper, it's supposed to be like Aries, which is another fire sign, but been there, done that, not fun. Sagittarius, I get along with Sagittarius boys well.
This is so
Look,
funny.
anything but Libra or like
In a bloke.
Aquarius. Yeah, Pisces is a little hard. Like anything, nothing too wishy-washy. But then
Yeah.
again, opposites attract. We'll just see. I'm,
Well, speaking of your love
single
life,
now, so we can experiment more and I'll get back to you.
well, the question that I feel like every single person wants to know,
Truly.
what happened with you and Josh? Are you broken up?
You confirm you're broken up.
I can confirm, yes.
Wow.
Oh, we're sad. We loved you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
together.
No.
He's an actual legend, but
Like all breakups are a little bit ouchies, especially when you put it online. People get invested in it and they're like,
Especially when there's people you don't know demanding to know what happened.
I know. Yeah, at first I was like, everyone's so bossy. And now I'm like, I get it. I put my whole life online. Like,
Yeah.
obviously people want to know. But it's pretty obvious that we're not together.
yeah, that's it. I know. Like I started picking up on cues like a few weeks ago, and then we saw you at the gym, or like
Yeah.
maybe it was like over a month
Yeah.
ago now. And then we saw you at the gym, and you're like, yeah, and we're definitely broken up. And I was like,
Yeah, I had
Wow.
no idea.
Yeah. Because I also post everything. And when I'm like with something like in love, I'm just like, oh my God, you're so cute. Like posting photos of them all the time, like everything. So yeah, when it started slowing down, people were like, what? We also were doing distance, so I moved to the Gold Coast and he stayed in Sydney. So yeah.
Were you living together? What happened? Yeah.
It was like right person, wrong time. Like we both had such huge career goals we wanted to achieve, and we were both traveling so much, and I think it's just that. It was just like
That's so nice, right person, wrong time.
We just started fighting a lot, and I was like, it wasn't bringing out the best in me, and it wasn't I wasn't being nice to him if I was just being angry, and then just little things here and there. And I think I acknowledged the fact that I loved him enough to let it go, and I also acknowledged the fact that he helped me a lot through a lot of my mental health issues, and I felt like a bit of a burden, and I was just kind of like, I can't properly heal right now in this relationship, and I just my own happiness was more important than our relationship. And I was like, one day you'll understand why I wanted to end it right now, because I wanted him to go and like kick all of his goals and not have me holding him back, and also not have him holding me back in terms. I just needed to be selfish, really. But it was all out of love, like, and he's gonna go kill it with his stuff now, and I'm gonna fucking do that exact same thing, and you never know.
Gosh, you're mature, my love. So mature. No, we were actually speaking about it once the other day. Nikki and I were like, wow, we think it would be hard if we broke up with our boyfriends. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be easy. But like, then your boyfriend is like, well, ex-boyfriend Josh is like this wildly good-looking boy that goes to all of those parties where there's like,
just a bunch of
Instagram girls
models
there. Like, if I broke up with Maddie, he'd be kicking it at the Burleigh Hotel. So, not too concerned.
Yeah.
But, Josh is like on boats with like,
living his best bloody life. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. At first I was like, holy shit, this is going to suck. Like, even before we broke up and we were still, dating, I'd be like, holy shit, if we ever break up, it's going to really suck. But, like, I just
it is what it is.
It just is
Have
what
you
it
had
is.
to be at the same events yet?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, once. But we were still really civil and everything. But now it's just gotten to more of a point where it's like, we don't need to be around each other. Like, we don't need communication. We just need to move forward.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I just think, models are models, and I'm me, and I'm fucking amazing. So
Queen.
I'm like,
right, queen.
I can't compare myself to it. And like, if you start falling, it's like everyone's like, what's your like breakup advice? I'm like, you need to just focus on how incredible you are, and don't let that shit rock you. Because breakups, people are gonna try and it gets a bit feisty. But I just think whatever. Like, he can move on and be happy. I can equally move on and be happy and like find another hottie.
Yes,
well,
queen.
speaking of, what's going on in your love life now? Any hookups we need to know about?
Kissing and telling, guys. No kissing and telling.
We'll save that until the little red button's not on. And okay, no, I think some of your followers have obviously assumed that you guys have broken up.
Yeah.
Because one of the questions that we did get in our question box today was, how do you go, and I think this is so applicable to you and Josh, how did you go about breaking up when you obviously both still had a lot of love for each other?
God, literally, like, it's
like almost
true
worse,
heartbreak. Yeah, it's worse because you're like, that nothing really that bad happened. It was more just like, me being like, I need to trust myself fully on this. Like, I really need to trust myself right now. And yeah, because we broke up and I was like, I don't hate you. I love you still. I'm breaking up with you because I love you so much. So it's like, it's
How
really
long did
hard.
you like have to toy with the idea of breaking up before you did it?
It was like on and off for a few months in my head, but I just was like, I love you so much, I want to keep trying.
Yeah.
But then it just got to a point where it's like, I shouldn't have to try this hard for it. And like, we're both young, like, we just need to just do our shit. So yeah, there's no easy way. You just have to think about it in terms of like, well, hopefully if we still love each other, then we can be civil and nice to each other afterwards and like not
respect each other.
Just have respect for each other, because then, you never know what can happen in the future. But I think when there's evil breakups, it's just
It's nice to see, considering how online both of you are, that neither of you have gone fully savage on each other.
Yeah.
And I would never. Like, obviously it's not going to be nice for him when he sees me posting with guy friends, or it's not going to be nice for me when he posts with other girls and stuff. But it's also like, we can't be angry at each other for doing that because we're both online. Before I was with Josh, I always post photos with my guy friends. I used to have heaps of guy friends, and I'm always posting photos and stuff, and people are like, are you dating this person? It's like, no, it's just
my male friend.
Each of us have to just not read into stuff. And it's like with anyone.
Don't read the comments.
just don't look at my Insta page.
That's it.
I don't look at his.
Do you still follow each other?
No.
Fair dose.
Absolutely fair dose.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that.
But
okay. Going back to what you were saying before about kind of comparing yourself to others, you know, the Insta models and whatnot, how do you just keep being you? Like, I guess you kind of touched on it before, but I feel like
can you give any tips for like girls that might need self-confidence?
It's just like you need
self-love.
you need, but that's what you got to focus on. You got to put so much more. And this is why I journal and meditate and do that morning practice every morning, because it connects me with myself. And the more you can somehow try and find little ways to connect with yourself or get into like a little flow state with yourself. So some people like painting or going on walks or just, I don't know,
something to like relax,
rock climbing, like something that like zones you into who you are or makes you feel good. This is how you can form self-love. This is how it's like a flow-on effect. It's literally like you start with that and then you kind of acknowledge the great things you love about yourself, and then it's you just start kind of being in that. Like self-love is it's hard work. I can say that for a fact, because when I fell out of love with myself, getting back into love with myself was like, I was like, fuck this shit. It's just hard. I'm like, it's just easier to be negative, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, but then once you're in a state of it, things become easier to palm off. Like, I'll look at a photo and like, oh, she's got a great bod. Like, fuck, I shouldn't be eating this or doing this. I need to work out more. And then I go, no, but what about you is great. And I started learning, the more people I met that were just the most confident people, I was like, you're just so hot because you're just so you're so confident. And the more people I then speak to, I say, what's the most attractive thing? Everyone says confidence and just that self-assurance. So
yeah, totally.
I just focus on that. I just
so true. You can be the hottest girl in the world, but if you are like riddled with, you know, like if you're being insecure or kind of like being down on yourself a lot, it's not nice to be around.
And everything is
insecurity
energy.
Is like, oh.
It's killer, but everything, I started realizing everything is
It's a no from Big LJ.
slow-mo.
I wish you could have seen my face then, guys. I just...
It's killer.
It's painful.
But
like a little nidge here and there. Like,
everyone's
got to have a bad day every now and then.
Yeah, but if you let it control your life, like it literally like last year controlled my life because I was just so anxious. And I was like, this is not fun. But, the one thing I used to always say on my YouTube and that I still always tell myself is like, there is one you, there is one of everyone. Like you cannot transfer bodies. You don't have a second chance of this right now. Like sure, you can go get plastic surgery, do all that shit, but you are literally you. You have to like make a home inside of yourself. Like you need to get used to who you are and start loving it, because you can't, I can't go, oh, today I want to be Lucy. Hey, bitch, can we switch? Like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Take you up on that offer though, if the offer stands.
So yeah, it's just, I think the more that you can use that as your superpower, like, cool, I'm the only Cartia Mallan. Like, that's something.
It's crazy how much people like put emphasis on the way, I think I've spoken about this in almost every podcast, but like, I find it crazy when you hear like girls be really, really insecure and it's like it's only about looks.
Yeah.
And it's like, she's like, oh, you know, like that girl is so hot. Oh my God. I'm like, yeah, but she's an absolute ding dong.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah.
Way rather hang out with an uglier, fun person.
You know what my pet hate is?
100%.
When girls see other good looking girls and then they say, oh my God, I can't be around them. Look at them. And I'm like,
it's just,
how is that meant to make that like hot girl even feel?
No,
like,
exactly.
Like what is that even about?
And this is what I was about to say. So everything is, for me, I go back to remembering everything is energy. If I can be when I walk away from hanging out with certain people, you feel like more full. And so I started learning off the people that I was hanging with that I was like, fuck, I feel good after being with you. Then I went, I want to be that person that people sit with and hang out with, that walk away and go, God, I just feel a bit bubblier, a bit lighter. Like, and then, you know, you talk to people, and me hang out with the guys, and I always ask them like, what's the most attractive thing in a girl to you or whatever. Or if I'm like, do you think she's cute? Or if I'm wing womaning, you know, I'm like, what do you think about her versus her?
It's so interesting talking to guys like from their perspective.
And I'm like, God, she's hot. And he goes, yeah, but her person like bland.
Beige.
Beige.
Vanilla. Okay,
you know?
what would be the biggest insult that someone could call you
if
ever?
someone, was like, I'm vanilla or
that's us too, beige.
beige, like
Not a
just
chance.
yeah, oh, you know,
You're far from
You're not
beige,
capable
darling.
of it, doll.
or if they were like, she's just a bit kook. Like, no, that's not even an insult. I was gonna say a bit cuckoo, but I am. Like, it's just actually. There's no escaping that.
We're definitely a little bit cuckoo.
But I think that's the fun part.
Yeah.
I bet you're vanilla then, sweetie.
Literally.
Throw it back.
Honestly, to this day, baffles me how much people will just like really put a comparison only on the way someone looks.
100%.
And it's like, well, at the end of the day, like, is that really, I guess, I don't know.
It's crazy,
Maybe it is all
loose,
people
because
care about.
now that I'm back out in the dating world and I'm, meeting people and I'm like, oh, he's cute. But say there's like, say we're picking out of two. I'm like, oh, when one's much obviously hotter.
Yeah.
I always, even before I was in my relationship, I would always go for the guy with the better personality, even if he wasn't 100% hot. But that's just me.
You need a bit of banter.
You need banter.
Yeah.
You literally
banter
need
makes
to be
people hotter.
that's
banter for the
so
win.
if I meet two people, one's obviously like a lot hotter looks wise, the other one's like, a 7, but 10 out of 10 personality. By
They're
the end of
hotter
hanging
by
out, I'm
default.
like, you are a 15 out of 10.
Literally.
Yeah.
Plus, if they smell good, you are just winning everything.
No one likes a stinky boy.
I've got time for a stinker.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
So you hear that, boys? If you got deodorant, you're Cartia's.
Get some cologne, get some of that all over you. That's just like, whew.
You're into cologne?
Oh my God. I'm turned on even thinking about guys that smell good. It just like
Wow.
does something to me.
Interesting.
I must have just hyperactive senses.
What is that? Pheromones or something?
Yeah, it gets
Keep
the
it fresh,
pheromones.
boys.
Keep it fresh.
I don't think I really take much notice of smell. Obviously, if someone stinks, of course, stay away.
Always smelly
Same.
boys line up. She's not going to care.
Like, literally, but like I'm not so into colognes.
Oh, I am. It just, wow.
Now I'm going to notice if a dude smells nice and I'll be like, oh my God, my pheromones.
You don't notice if they don't
Literally.
smell like anything, but if they smell good, it's like, oh God, I want
Particularly
to be
good.
around you, sniffing you, like
Yeah.
hug me.
All right, we've got a Queenie question because we're almost coming up to the 1 hour. We're almost done. So this is a Queenie question. So this is one that's come in from the punters.
Okay.
Can I ask number one tip for Coachella? Because she knows you're going this year.
Comfy motherfucking shoes.
Oh.
Touche,
Literally
queen.
just sort out the shoe stitch.
Yeah.
And
Touche.
How's it when you go to Coachella and you see chicks getting around in little open toe wedges and you're like,
Kitten
what have
heels.
we
Or in
here,
I
Shaniqua?
just don't know how they survive because I am such a baby. If my feet hurt, I'm complaining. I am complaining, and my friends are just like, one year at Splendor made Ricardo switch shoes with me. My gay bestie, I said,
oh my God,
what
he
a
was
legend.
the biggest
because I was
vibe.
He's a
complaining
huge
so
mood.
much. He was like, bitch, take your shoes off. I'll switch with you. And I was like,
And
was
he wore
wearing
your
these
shoes?
big, chunky platform boots. And he was wearing my Converses that I'd like lent to him. Oh, sorry, they were his Converses. What am I even saying? And he switched with me. And I was like, I
What
love
a
you. Just so I'd
legend.
stop complaining. So I would just say, get the shoes down right. Get your
After that,
cute-
he was probably like, fabulous.
Get your cute outfits. Stay hydrated.
Take a jacket.
Oh, the dust. Get something for your face. Not that I ever do, but
Yeah, I've
Actually,
never
yeah.
actually done that.
by the end of it though, you're like blowing up black dust in your nose.
I had a
and
scarf
your
one year that
throat's
I
like-
used at like the end of the night, but yeah, never intentionally.
I should, but I just feel lame. I'm like, this is
Little
not my look.
bandana,
I'm like,
yeah.
this is not my look. This is like
Bit
not on
gangster.
brand for me.
Doesn't go with my fit.
All right, here's another Queenie question because
Uh-huh.
I feel like this is a good one. Have you ever had any falling outs with other influencers? They always ask this.
They
Yeah.
do.
Queens
They
love a
love
bit of tea.
People love the fucking tea.
Love tea.
They're strictly here for hot little cup of tea.
No,
Never.
never.
Liar. I
Have
know for
I?
a fact you have.
There was a little bit of beef like years ago, but like nothing like monumental.
Yeah.
I think I keep myself out of stuff though. Like I think I'm not too involved. Like
Is there stuff that goes on? Not that we know about, really. We're too old.
I mean, yeah, for sure, but I just hear about it and then I'm like, oh,
You're about
I'm
to
not
stay out of it.
involved in that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what people are forgetting as well is that like when like people just see it as like, oh, influencer versus influencer. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are just friends. So it's
Yeah.
like it's just two friends having a fight. It's not like
100%.
influencer
And
versus
I think this is the
influencer.
thing why I'm not too involved is because of course I'm friends with influencers, but my best friends are all offline.
And
Yeah.
they've always been your best
They've
friends.
always been my best
Yeah.
friends. So I kind of like that's my main group. But I feel like, with with Lil and Shine, they're all each other's like besties.
Yeah.
So of course it's going to be hard because you're just having normal friend fights, but then it's more intense because your fucking lives are online.
Well, that's, we've always been the same as you, Kardea. Like all of our best friends have always been offline.
Yeah.
Until we became like really close with Em and Lil. And the other day, because we didn't go to Bali with the girls because our schedules just didn't line up, and then we were obviously in Bali the following week.
Everyone's like,
People
what's
started
going
asking
on?
questions.
Someone commented
everyone reads into stuff.
RIP and we were like, sorry, what?
Literally.
It gets hard because people read into things so much, and it's just like, ugh.
And it's like for us at the end of the day, we're just friends, but I kind of guess from the outset they're seeing that as like influencer versus influencer, whereas for us it's like Lil and Em and Lucy and
it's much more normal.
Nikki.
But I'm happy. I just don't need like literally like I think ever since I finished, because I had so much drama in high school and so much just bullshit, I was like, I'm just staying out of that stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously I have a little goss, but it's fun when I'm not involved. If I'm
that's
just like, and also the breakup was enough drama that I needed because that was already like,
that was so online.
that was just too much. So I stay out of it.
Yeah.
Head down, ass up.
head down, just getting shit done, working on your projects.
Truly.
Well, Carts, I think that
that was so
that was
enlightening.
epic. You are just a bloody little ripper. Can talk underwater, this girl.
I'm like, just shut me up.
Meet a more positive person.
Honestly,
love you,
you're on
queen.
fire, my queen. So, guys, if you don't know who Kardea is, you definitely do now. You can follow her on Instagram at Cartia Mallan.
Is it Cartia or Cartia?
Cartia.
Cartia.
Whatever, because we're Aussie, we're bogan, we go Kardea.
Cardia Mallan. Give her a follow. She's an absolute ray of sunshine in your
She's
day.
always posting like, positive things in her Instagram, so it's a good follow.
It's a good little follow. And
her mum's a fucking vibe.
Kai Mel, if you're listening,
Mel.
love you so much.
Kai Mel.
Thanks so much for coming on today, Carts. Love ya.
Love you guys.
Bless ya.
Thanks for listening to me talk for an hour.
Loved it.
Our pleasure. This episode was brought to you by Preen Bags, where they're offering our listeners the chance to receive 10% off full price items, excluding the Beck bag. Use code HAPPYHOUR at checkout for 10% off, valid from today until the 3rd of March 2020. This podcast is part of the Spin Studio Network. To stay up to date with us, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, leave us a review, and follow us on Instagram at @we_the_wild ones. Cheers, babes.